Welcome, comic lovers. Old comic guy coming at you with another comic haul. This one is Dollar Bin. I went at Monster Comics. I did my Dollar Bin diving. So, got a lot of stuff, and we'll kind of go through it and see what we got, and we'll see what kind of stories we know. So, this is all, I'm going to get right into it, you guys. So, all 6 issues of the Rann-Thanagar War. 1 through 6 came out 2005, 2006. This one, number 1, is a second print. It's part of the Infinite Crisis crossover. So this one is a second print. Let's see. So Dave Gibbons is the writer. You may recognize the name. Yes, I hope. Dave Gibbons is the co-creator of The Watchmen with Alan Moore. Everybody seems to remember Alan Moore, but they don't remember Dave Gibbons. That's kind of sad. You ever think about that? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things. Sears and Roebuck. Whatever happened to Roebuck? Yeah, nobody remembers him. What's another one nobody remembers? Oh, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. It was Gary Gygax and, now you're thinking about it, and you're like, wait, who is that? Dave Arnson. Let's try another one. The Rat Pack. I say the Rat Pack, and you go, well, that's Frank Sinatra. That's Dean Martin. That's Sammy Davis Jr. And the other one, who is that? Yeah, you forgot Tony Bishop. Really? No, not Tony, Joey. Wait, now I'm forgetting. Oh, man. Bishop. I know it's Bishop. People forget people. So Dave Gibbons, right? So he's the writer on this. Ivan Reyes, Joe Bennett, and Joe Prada are the art. Covers are all Ivan Reyes, Mark Campos, and Peter Stegerwade. And so this is issue 1. Stars Adam Strange, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Hawkwoman. Yes, both Hawkgirl and Hawkwoman are in this. Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Who else? Also has Captain Comet in it. Kilowog, Blackfire, Starman. Yeah, Starman. And then you go, wait, Jack Knight? No. Or Ted Knight? No. So you think Jack because it's in modern times. It's kind of not. It was Gavin. So this is the 3rd Starman. The one from Throne World first appeared in Adventure Comics number 467 in 1980. He was created by Paul Levitz and Steve Ditko. And when you think about it, like if you really think about it, there's like 6 Starmans. There's the first Starman, Ted Knight, right? Cousin to Phantom Lady, created by Jack Burnley, Adventure Comics number 61 back in 1941. That was his first appearance. And then you have the second Starman. The second Starman is Michael Tomas, which was the blue alien created by Jerry Conway and Mike Vosberg for the first issue special number 12 back in 1976. So we have one Starman from 41 through 76. And then we have the second Starman. And then we have the third one. This is Gavin that I mentioned, created by Paul Levitz, Steve Ditko, and I gave for when he first appeared. Then there's the fourth Starman, and that's Will Payton. And Will Payton was based out of Tucson, Arizona. He's created by Roger Stern and Tom Lyle. And his first appearance is in Starman 1, 1998. He is actually a they don't find this out till way later. He is a reincarnation of the third Starman, Gavin. Will died when he was struck by the beam of energy. And then you have the fifth and sixth Starmans, David Knight and Jack Knight. And they were created by James Robinson and Tony Harris. First appeared in 0 Hour Crisis in Time number 1, 1994. So he's in it. But a lot of the spacefaring guys are, right? I wish they'd have even included some other ones, but that's okay. And then I picked up this. This is Star Reach Classics, number 1. And it came out in 1984. This is basically reprinting a bunch of stuff that came out in Star Reach over the years. So this has... It has The Birth of Death, Death Building, Origin of God. These are all written by Jim Starlin, art by The Birth of Death and the Death Building have art by Jim Starlin. The Origin of God is Dave Sims. And then it has Frightmare. And those came out 1974 is when that first arc started in Star Reach. And then Frightmare appeared in 1978. That was Neil Adams and Frank Sirocco, and writer and artist. And Frank Sirocco is the one who did the cover here. And these were creator-owned stories published by Star Reach and Mike Frederick, who created Star Reach. And this is for Eclipse Entertainment. So pretty neat, a nice way to get those classic stories. They were small print runs, so finding any in good shape is actually kind of hard to do. They're kind of, well, they're usually kind of messed up. And I must have been on a Starlin craze at the time. Not really, but I picked up some other Starlin. So I picked up Dreadstar number 29. This is my first comics from 1987. Another Jim Starlin, right? Writer, artist, everything. Kingdom Come, let's see. Officially, this is JSA Kingdom Come Special Magog number 1 from 2009. It's after the JSA Kingdom Come Special Superman, but before the JSA Kingdom Come Special The Kingdom. Let's see. And the stories in here are Magog, the Real Me, written by, and Magog's created by Jeff Johns, Alex Ross, and Dale Eaglesham. But the story Magog, the Real Me is written by Peter Tomasi and Fernando Pasarin. And Magog is David Reed. That's him here. He is supposedly the great grandson of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And then also in here is The Secret Origin of Starman. We just got through that. Wait, we're adding another one. This would be the 7th one. Maybe, but this one's really just Starboy. So it's Tom Callor from the Legion of Superheroes, who was Starboy. And so you have him here. It makes sense to call him Starman. I mean, he's sporting the beard. He's not really a kid anymore. That's one of the things. Like, the Legion of Superheroes never got to age because they were always supposedly teenagers. And DC hated the idea of aging people. They were a bunch of old men scared about their aging. That's actually in all of comics. People scared of aging, and we should age. We're humans. It's okay. And I know you want them to be bigger than life, but yeah. And then you make Batman not human because he's been around since whatever, 38? That's crazy. Superman's one thing. Like, he's an alien. I get it. Anyway, the Secret Origin of Starman is written by Jeff Johns, and Scott Collins did the art. So, pretty cool. And then I got this wonderful Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Look at that. The Molten Man. So this is number 63 from 1981. It's a direct edition. Covers by John Romita Jr., writers Bill Mantlow. I've shared lots about Bill Mantlow over the time I've been doing this, but art's Greg LaRocque. Bill Mantlow's wife was a letterer for Marvel back in the day. Karen Mantlow, but I think her original name was Pocock. Pocock? Yeah. Let's see. Bill Mantlow. So I've kind of shared this before. He became a public defender in, I believe it was the Bronx, in the late 80s. He left comics. So this is 81. He's still working sometime between now and the end of the 80s. I want to say like 86, but don't quote me on that one. He became a public defender in the Bronx. In 1992, was in an accident that was a hit and run while he was rollerblading. He received a serious head injury. The driver has never been found, to my knowledge. And by 2006, he was kind of okay, but not okay. So by 2006, he was in a healthcare facility receiving full-time care. And what sadly happens is insurance only goes so far. And I know we live in an era of insurance, but the reality is when you have a serious injury, there becomes an out-of-pocket expense at some point. And in this case, it did happen. Insurance kind of ran out. And it was pretty much gone by about 2010. Rough, from my understanding. And so he had created, he created a lot of things. And I'm just going to focus in on one because this helped. So he created Rocket Raccoon, which we know and love. And whether you read comics and love him from there or whether you love him from the movies, I don't care. You know, he's a wonderful character. His brother in 2014 negotiated a compensation package for the rights to Rocket Raccoon. Now, Rocket Raccoon was created for Marvel in a very controlled environment that didn't allow as much creator-owned as they should have, or creator even like acknowledgement. And Marvel's not the only one, right? DC has had many lawsuits of characters trying to get the rights to the characters, or creators trying to get the rights to the characters they created. And really, most of them just want a byline, right? And be paid something of what they're worth. Anyway, he had done Rocket Raccoon, and so they negotiated a compensation package for the rights to Rocket Raccoon that ensured that Bill would have quality care for the rest of his life, which is awesome. To my knowledge, he's still alive, but he is in a full-time healthcare facility. And he gave us so many wonderful creations and wonderful stories that rightfully so, he should be taken care of. And then to go in to be a public defender, how cool is that? Anyway, I do like what Mantlow did, and I loved his work. So Power Man and Iron Fist 124. You'll notice the red costume there, which is pretty cool. But this was, the red costume is when it wasn't really Danny. It's kind of weird. So this is 124. The series ends next issue, 125. This is from 1986. Jim Osley was the writer, and Mark Bright was the art. Keith Pollard and Bob Layton did the cover. And this is the, I had to write it down because Hilithri imposter, Iron Fist, who basically dies in the next issue. It was like a plant-based clone of a plant species clone. I don't know. Of Danny, and they substituted him in, but the thing is that he ended up with Danny's like personality and really kind of became a hero. The bad thing, the thing I hated. So Danny and Misty were together in the Iron Fist books prior to the Marvel Premiere books. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, for a long time. And then through most of the Power Man and Iron Fist run, Danny and Misty were together. And these are some of the first books I read in Marvel when I got into collecting. Serious, 10 years they were a relationship. Now I know 10 years in real world isn't 10 years in comics. But still, and then this creature, who ends up being like Danny and dying next issue, ruined their relationship. And I wish they were still back together. I love their relationship. They were like, she was a cop when they first meet. It was just an awesome relationship. And now, not so much. Anyway, just my opinion. What do we got? We got some more stuff. These are all dollar books. Buy 10 or buy 12 for 10 is kind of the deal that Monster does. So I picked up Who's Who, the definitive directory of DC Universe. This is number 2 from 1983. Cover, of course, is George Perez. It has from Automan to Blackhawks. And these are all pre-crisis origins. So this is prior to the crisis. I also picked up Legion of Superheroes, the Baxter edition, Baxter paper edition. This is number 31. This would technically be volume 3. Paul Levitz, Greg LaRocque. Paul's the writer, Greg's the artist. The cover, Steve Little. Sensor Girl is telling Invisible Kid 2, which is Jacques Foucault, how she, as Princess Projecta and Karate Kid, Feral Lad, and Invisible Kid 1, Lyle Norg, captured Black Mace. So it's kind of a retelling of an old adventure, which is kind of cool. And this is The Daring New Adventures of Supergirl, number 5. So this is kind of freaky. Yeah. So it was called The Daring New Adventures of Supergirl for issue 1 through 12, and then Supergirl from issue 13 through 23. It's technically volume 2 of Supergirl. This one's from 1983. The series ran till 82 to 85. It had 3 specials, 2 with Honda, 1 for the movie when it came out, and then let's see, what else? This particular one covers Ed Hannigan. Writers Paul Kupperberg. Art inside is Carmen Infantino for the main story, her story. And then the backup, which is a Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane story, has Tamsin O'Flynn as the writer, Bob Oxner as the art, and they're fighting versus Brainstorm and his gang. So just pretty cool old stuff. Love it. Early 80s. I also picked up Eternals #5. This is the series was a 12-issue limited series. It ran 85 to 86. This one's from issue 86. They're fighting the deviants, basically. Peter B. Gillis is the writer. Sal Buscema does the art. Covers Keith Pollard. And then the editor is Ralph Macchio. Not the actor, right? So, yeah, pretty cool. I think when I was a kid and I saw that, I thought, holy crap, the actor does comics. And people would be like, wow. And then, yeah, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? But we know that's not the case. As you age, you learn stuff. So let's see, I got 2 Conans. So Conan the Barbarian number 191. This series, this is volume 1. It ran from 1970 to 1993. Pretty cool. This one's also written by Jim Owsley. Actually, both of them are written by Jim Owsley. The art's by Val Semeks and Jeff Isherwood, and they're the ones who do the cover. This is 191 and 193. So pretty cool. And then still more. When you can get 12, right? I mean, 12 for the price of 10, you're going to get 12. So 1, 2. So I got 3, 4, and 5, right? 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5 of the 6-issue limited series, New Gods. This is technically volume 2. It's printed on Baxter paper. That's what they called it. Each one contained 2 reprinted stories from the New Gods volume 1. So they're basically just reprinting the old stuff. Except issue 6. So the end of this does contain a new story by Jack Kirby. And this was in 84. And it was how he wanted, it was his final chapter to the Fourth World Saga. At least until other people start doing it. So 3 and 4, so all stories are written by Jack Kirby. Art's Jack Kirby and Mike Royer. And the covers are Jack Kirby and Mike Royer. For 3 and 4. 5 is Jack Kirby and Mike Thibodeau. And he was a cover artist and an inker, was Thibodeau. Anyway, so this reprints New Gods Volume 1, number 5 and 6. This reprints New Gods Volume 1, number 7 and 8. And this reprints New Gods Volume 1, number 9 and 10. And then, like I said, the 6th one reprints Volume 11 and then has Jack's End. So I just thought that was pretty cool. And for the $1, you can't really go wrong. And then we have Omega Men. So this is volume 1 of the Omega Men. It ran from 83 to 86, 1983 to 1986. They first appeared in Green Lantern, volume 2, number 141, back in 1981. They're created by Marv Wolfman and Joe Staton. There were 40 total issues of their series, 2 annuals, and 38 regular issues. I found issues 29, 30, and 33. So they have a main story that's all written, that's going throughout the whole thing, and that's Todd Klein. He's also the writer and the letterer, which is pretty cool. And then Sean McManus does the covers, and he's the regular artist. The backups. So let's see. The backup in here is writers Dwight John Zimmerman and arts Chuck Patton. And issue 30, so that was issue 29. Issue 30, here, just checking to make sure I have them in order. Issue 30 is the writer's Doc Wilde. I really think that's a pseudonym, but I can't figure out who it's actually. Maybe there is somebody named Doc Wilde, but that just feels like a pseudonym. Anyway, and art's Chuck Patton. And then the backup in this one, 33, again, they end at 38, so this is getting near the end, is Steve Parkhouse is the writer, and then the art for the backup is Dave Gibbons. So, pretty cool haul for $1 a shot. And like I said, I just usually, I don't know, I pull what I find, right? And every time I get 12, I'm like, all right, cool, that's a good way to go. If I don't get 12, I'm not going to be brokenhearted by it. But that's my haul from the dollar bins, and we'll be coming at you with some more as soon as I get them. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care of each other.